April 5th. In the world of UK personal finance, this isn't just another date on the calendar, it is the single most critical deadline for your money. The UK tax system operates on a strict use it or lose it basis. Every year, the government gives us specific allowances to grow your wealth tax-free and reclaim money that we've already paid. But at the stroke of midnight on the 5th of April, those allowances all reset. Hi, I'm Dahlia. I spent 7 years working in the City of London in finance, dealing with exactly these kinds of deadlines. And today I am talking you through everything I've learned step by step. I'm going to walk you through the 5 specific money moves that you need to check off your list right now. Whether you have £100 or £100,000 to spare, doing these 5 things before the 5th of April could save you thousands in unnecessary tax. Move number 1 is the ISA wrap and trap strategy. First up, this is a big one, your ISA allowance. Every adult in the UK has a £20,000 per year allowance to put into an individual savings account, an ISA. Any growth, any interest, any dividends that you earn inside this wrapper are completely tax-free forever. Now, here is the mistake that I see people make every single March. They think, I want to invest, but I don't know what stocks to buy yet. The market is volatile. I'm scared to commit. So they do nothing. They miss the deadline. Here is the pro tip from my professional experience. You do not need to invest the money to secure the allowance. You just need to fund the account. So what does this mean in practice? You can transfer cash into your stocks and shares ISA today. Lock in that £20,000 allowance for this tax year and leave it sitting there as cash inside that wrapper. Then you can decide to invest it in April, May, December. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you've placed it inside the ISA wrapper. Once your cash is inside the ISA, it is protected from the tax man. If you just leave it in your normal bank account past April 5th and try to move it later, then you're eating into next year's allowance. Don't do that. You can always decide what you want to invest in later down the line, but don't lose the deadline and the 20k allowance. Also, if you have investments outside an ISA in a general investment account, consider selling them and rebuying them inside your ISA. This is called bed an ISA. It moves your assets from a taxable environment into a tax-free one. Just make sure that you get that cash settled in the account before the deadline. Second money move that you are going to make is essentially free money. Move number 2 is the pension top-up. Now, I know pensions can feel boring, but look at the maths. For every £80 that you contribute to a private pension or SIP, which is a self-invested personal pension, the government automatically adds £20 in tax relief. That is an instant 25% return on your capital before the market even moves. If you are a higher rate taxpayer that is earning over £50,270, it gets even better. You can claim back another 20% through your tax return. That means that a £100 contribution effectively costs you only £60. But here is the asset manager insider tip, the carry forward rule. Usually you can contribute up to £60,000 a year into your pension. But if you have a great year, maybe a bonus at work or your business took off, you can actually reach back and use those unused allowances from the previous 3 tax years. However, you have to use your current year's allowance first. If you have a lump sum of cash sitting around doing nothing, topping up your pension before the 5th of April is one of the most tax efficient things you can possibly do. Move number 3, capital gains harvesting. Okay, this third point is urgent because the government has been slashing allowances aggressively. We need to talk about capital gains tax, or CGT. This is the tax that you pay on the profit when you sell an asset that has increased in value, like selling your shares outside an ISA, selling a buy-to-let property where the value of the property has gone up, or even selling crypto. A few years ago, you could make £12,300 in profit before paying tax. This year, that allowance is only £3,000. If you have assets sitting in a general investment account that are up in value, you should consider selling enough of them to realize a profit of up to £3,000 before the 5th of April. Why? Because you cannot carry this allowance over. If you have £3,000 of profit sitting there and you don't lock this in this year, you lose that tax-free allowance. Next year, you'll be paying tax on it. By selling now, you're resetting your cost basis. You can then reinvest that money, ideally into an ISA like we discussed in step 1, or buy a different asset. It's about being smart with the rules as they stand today. Now, moving away from investing for a second, let's look at your payslip. Move number 4 is checking your tax code. You would be shocked at how often HMRC gets this wrong. If you've changed jobs, received a company car, or had a change in benefits this year, your code might be incorrect. Most people should see 1257L. This means you get your standard personal allowance of £12,570 tax-free. If you see a code starting with BR, OT, or especially K, you need to investigate. Emergency tax codes usually mean that you're being overtaxed. If you fix this before the end of the tax year, the refund usually comes through automatically in your next paycheck. If you wait until after April 5th, you have to wait for HMRC to do their calculations, send you a P800 letter, and eventually send you a check. Do the admin now and get that cash now. Finally, number 5, I call this the allowance sweep. These are these smaller pots of gold that people often forget. Number 1 is the marriage allowance. If you are married or in a civil partnership and one of you earns less than £12,570, while the other is a basic rate taxpayer, the lower earner can transfer £1,260 of their allowance to their partner. This saves you up to £252 of tax instantly. You can even backdate this claim by 4 years. Number 2 in this category is the trading allowance. If you started a side hustle this year, maybe selling on eBay or Vinted, the first £1,000 of income is tax-free. You don't even need to declare it if it's under £1,000. Number 3 is the LISA bonus. If you have a lifetime ISA, make sure you've hit the £4,000 limit if you can. That triggers a £1,000 bonus from the government, and that is a strict deadline. Please note, though, that the £4,000 LISA allowance does come out of your £20,000 cash ISA allowance. So let's do a roundup of all your allowances that you need to use up before the end of this tax year. First off is your £12,570 tax-free salary allowance. There's the £20,000 ISA allowance and the £4,000 lifetime ISA allowance, which has to come out of that £20,000 total ISA allowance. You get £60,000 towards pension contributions and £1,000 or £500 if you're in a higher income tax bracket worth of tax-free interest. There is the £500 dividend allowance, the £3,000 capital gains allowance, the £1,000 property income allowance, and the £1,000 trading allowance. Use it or lose it. These don't roll over, so make sure you're using up all of these allowances before the 5th of April. Now, listen, I know nobody enjoys admin. No one wakes up excited to log into the HMRC portal, but wealth isn't just about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. The difference between doing these 5 things before the 5th of April and doing them on the 6th of April could literally be thousands of pounds in your pocket rather than the taxman. If you want to take action on step number 1, which is setting up your stocks and shares ISA, but you've never done this before, I have a full video on ISA basics that I'm going to link here. I'm breaking down how to get started and what's best for beginners in the most simple way. Thank you so much for watching Get On Top with Dahlia. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel where I am dropping life-changing financial and money tips every single week to help you get on top of your finances, 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 of your finances. Ciao for now.